In a major milestone for the space station program, Japanese astronaut Akihiko Hoshide and Expedition 33 Commander Sunita Williams used the lab's robot arm today to unberth and release an unmanned commercial cargo capsule, setting the stage for a fiery plunge back to Earth to bring home nearly a ton of equipment and experiment samples. Completing its first operational flight, the SpaceX Dragon capsule is the first space station cargo ship since the shuttle that is capable of carrying large amounts of equipment both to and from the lab complex. As such, it restores a critical capability for NASA. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. The return of experiment samples from the station, along with failed components that require troubleshooting and analysis. We see her moving aft and away from us out of the keep-out sphere, Williams radioed as the SpaceX Dragon capsule departed early today. It was nice while she was on board. We tamed her, took her on board, and literally and figuratively, there's a piece of us on that spacecraft going home to Earth. She was referring to urine samples and other items packed aboard the cargo ship that had been awaiting a ride back to researchers on the Thank You for Trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Ground. That milestone is expected around 3:20 p.m. when the spacecraft parachutes to a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California. Time-sensitive experiment samples will be returned to NASA within 48 hours. It's a nice change from loading vehicles with trash to actually loading vehicles with stuff that's going to get looked at, analyzed and used back home, Williams told flight controllers yesterday. Designed, built and operated by Space Exploration Technologies, SpaceX, under a $1.6 billion contract with NASA, the Dragon capsule was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, on October 7. Loaded. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. With nearly a half-ton of supplies and equipment, it was captured by the station's robot arm 3 days later and attached to the Earth-facing port of the Forward Harmony module. After unloading its cargo, the station crew repacked the capsule with nearly a ton of experiment samples, station components and other gear awaiting return to Earth. Hoshide and Williams detached Dragon from its port at 4:19 a.m. yet today. The astronauts then released the capsule at 9:29 a.m. yet as the two spacecraft sailed 255 miles above Greenwich. At that point, SpaceX flight controllers in Thank You for Trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Hawthorne, California, took over active control, guiding the capsule away from the space station. The flight plan called for the Dragon's braking rockets to fire at 2:28 p.m. yet to drop the craft out of orbit. When Dragon reaches 13,700 meters 45,000 feet above sea level, it will deploy two drogue parachutes to slow its descent, SpaceX said on its website. At 3,000 meters 10,000 feet, it will deploy its 3 main parachutes and drift slowly toward the splashdown site. After Dragon is secured, the SpaceX team will then place the vehicle on the deck of a Thank You for Trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. 100-foot boat for the journey back to shore. Early arrival cargo will be delivered to NASA within 48 hours of splashdown. Dragon will then travel from Southern California to SpaceX's facility in McGregor, Texas, where the remaining cargo will be unloaded, processed, and delivered to NASA. The SpaceX commercial resupply contract requires the company to deliver 44,000 pounds of equipment and supplies over 12 flights. To pave the way for operational resupply missions, SpaceX carried out 2 successful test flights, one that tested the capsule's systems in a solo flight and another that included a berthing at the station last. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. May. The Dragon capsule measures 14.4 feet tall and 12 feet wide, with a trunk section, jettisoned just before re-entry, that extends another 9.2 feet below the capsule's heat shield that houses solar arrays and an unpressurized cargo bay. The spacecraft can carry up to 7,297 pounds of cargo split between the pressurized and unpressurized sections. Under a separate $440 million contract with NASA, SpaceX engineers are working on upgrades to convert the Dragon capsule into a manned spacecraft that can ferry crews to and from the station. SpaceX managers believe they will be ready. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. For initial manned test flights in the 2015 time frame, assuming continued NASA funding. Two other companies, Boeing and Sierra Nevada, are developing their own spacecraft designs under similar contracts. For Dragon's first commercial resupply service mission, CR-1, the SpaceX cargo capsule delivered 882 pounds of hardware, supplies, and equipment to the space station, including 260 pounds of crew food and supplies, 390 pounds of science gear, and 225 pounds of spare parts and other station hardware. For its return to Earth, the Dragon was packed with about 1,673 pounds of experiment samples and hardware, including 163 thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Pounds of crew supplies, 518 pounds of station hardware, 123 pounds of computer gear and Russian equipment, and 866 pounds of science gear and experiment samples.